This is the Padua Podcast Network.
Running a Fever, episode 360.
Shattering the Yo-Yo.
Adaptation and Aggressiveness. Previously on Running a Fever.
And in life, people who are not well established are more aggressive. They can afford to be more aggressive. They have less to lose. You know, if your starting pitcher starts to struggle in the least bit, you're not going to wait and see what happens. Adaptation. If you want to have a long career at anything, you have to adapt. You would describe this attitude as scrappy if it were another team that maybe didn't have as much money. But this isn't the Red Sox. They're acting like a scrappy team. That Alex Cora is using this strategy for the Boston Red Sox. Scrappy, aggressive, base stealing, pitcher switching strategy. Anything to win. And now it's come down to each individual game. Used to play squash and I really loved the game until my right arm shoulder started giving me trouble. It was very painful to play squash. Well, his immediate response was, why don't you just try playing with your left hand? So simple. So simple. Why did I never think of that? I started a podcast called Running a Fever, and I started trying to run, and I hurt my knee, and running wasn't safe for me. And in fact, I've not run since then, really. Still have a little trouble with the knee. Still hope to work that out someday. But I kept on doing the podcast, and I kept on exercising. I just walked instead of running. Walking down the trail with one of those walkers that has wheels on it. And he's just walking along. He's adapted to make sure he can still exercise. He's nowhere near a parking lot, folks. This guy is not just tottering around. He's a serious guy about his health. Don't bemoan your weaknesses. They are opportunities for you to improve.
Welcome to the 74th in our series, Shattering the Yo-Yo. My name is Michael Davis. This is a podcast about fitness, diet, and medicine. My goal is to live a long, healthy, happy, active life right up to the very end. If that's your goal as well, you're in the right place. We can get there together. The biggest thing I got from this old episode, 102, is adaptation. That's the most important concept I got. When life throws something at me that knocks me off course, like COVID, for example, or a torn Achilles tendon, I need to adapt. If I have an injury, I can look to alternate modes of exercise, like I can switch hands if I'm having trouble with one hand. If I can go outside, if I can't go outside because of a pandemic, I can work out with weights or a stationary bike at home. If I'm completely unable to exercise, I can adjust my diet accordingly so I don't gain weight from the idleness. Aggressiveness is also a part of this episode, but I have to be more careful with that. If it's not too much of a contradiction in terms, I'm prone to injury when I get too aggressive with my exercise, as you will know if you've been listening to enough of these episodes. And I certainly didn't do myself any good back in early 2018 when I was too aggressive with my dieting. It really caused me some problems back then. But there is no victory without risk, and I need to remember to take small risks when they are appropriate. I have evening plans tomorrow. Can I risk being late to work in some exercise in the afternoon? Maybe so. That's a small risk that gives me a good reward. I'll feel better the rest of the night too, and we'll probably be on time anyway. So learn to adapt and be cautiously aggressive when appropriate. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to keep that fever burning if you got it and catch it if you don't. And I'll talk to you next time on Running a Fever.